Hey guys, welcome back. So we're going to use the IntelliRoll today and a chair or a couch or a bench or whatever you have accessible to you in your home or the gym to really be able to tap into the quads. Now, the quads do a lot for us all day long. When every step we take and we're walking, we're utilizing our quad muscles. If we bend down to get anything, we're utilizing our quad muscles. And sometimes these like to kick on prior to anything else, especially because your quad, it actually attaches into your hip as well. So if you're sitting a large part of the day, it's already in a shortened position. Muscles that are a little bit shorter are going to kick on a little bit sooner. So that's why a lot of us have trouble activating our posterior chain with our glutes and hamstrings. It's because our quads and hip flexors are already in a shortened position. So when we go to work out, those are what kick on first. So in order to maximize not having that happen, we're going to use the IntelliRoll to start to release some of the tension and the pressure, and then we're going to use the most effective stretch that I love to get into your quads, okay? So IntelliRoll, great because it's going to have these areas that help to maximize the surface area that you're getting across your quad or across any other extremity on your body. You can use a regular foam roller. This is just going to be a little bit more effective, okay? So I'm going to start by coming down, not kicking it out. And I'm just going to allow my legs to kind of come onto it. So I like to come onto my elbows here. And I start all the way at my knees. So your quads attach into your knees. A lot of times when we have knee pain, one of the first ways to start to relieve some of that tension and that pressure in your knees is releasing your quads. Because your quads are what are directly coming onto your knees, especially if you have that front knee pain or anything like that. Starting to address your quads first is a great thing for symptom relief. Okay, so we go all the way up. And you might notice, okay, there's some areas that feel a little tighter than others, or maybe even one side feels a little tighter than the other. Start to take note of that. And you're just going to go really slow. You're trying to not squeeze everything, and you're trying to really relax. And just let your elbows take you forward. It doesn't have to be a good plank position. Just relax and try to just breathe into that foam roller. Okay, so there's so many different ways that you can foam roll. There's not one size fits all for foam rolling. It's really what feels best within your body. And you just start to relax. You can bend the knees. You can let your knees fall to one side. You can let your legs fall to the other side. So you really get to kind of explore movement here. Explore what's happening in the quads. Maybe there's areas where you're like, whoa, that's really intense, that's really tight. So breathe into that. Hold it for a moment. And see if you can slow down your breath. Maybe you're even only breathing from your nose, really tapping into that parasympathetic and getting things to relax. Okay, finding that moment in space and time where you can relax and breathe into the tension is going to be the best to actually get the release that you're looking for within the foam rolling session. Okay, so do that for a little bit. I recommend anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes at least. And then we're going to come over here to my handy dandy chair. I put a blanket because I don't want to really hurt my foot here. And I'm going to put a pillow down on the ground because I'm a baby and my knee starts to hurt. So here, we're going to put my knee here, my foot here, my other leg out here. Now, realize that for most people, you're going to start with your leg a little bit further forward. I'm even going to use this as stability. So you're going to start with your knee maybe pushed out a little farther away from the chair to begin with, okay? Then as you start to feel comfortable, what I want you to start doing is actually taking that tailbone and tucking it under. So start to take this tailbone up toward your rib cage, tucking it under, and you can start to sit up from there. So breathing, taking that hip bone up. What you want to be sure with this one is that you're not doing your stretch here, because I can stretch all day with my booty sticking out. It does not a whole lot for my quad, okay? Your quad, again, it's crossing your knee joint. It's also crossing your hip joint, so we have to take that hip under into posterior pelvic tilt. Start with it further away. This might be where you are. That's okay. Breathe into it. Hold it for 2 full minutes. Then as you start to feel more comfortable, you can start to sit up more. Then maybe you are all the way back and you are a rock star, getting your heel to touch your bottom in that open, lengthened position, keeping that tailbone tucked under. Either way, go to what's comfortable for you and hold it for 2 full minutes. After the full 2 minutes, that's when you can practice kind of pushing back, increasing the tension into that quad, about 5 seconds, and then try to pull it off. You might notice some hamstring cramping, especially if you're not used to doing that. That's okay. It's normal. If you're not used to that end range of motion, totally normal, okay? This is, Dr. Spina calls it functional range conditioning. This is your end range control, okay? So really pulling that in and then keeping that tailbone tucked under as much as possible as well. So give that a try, maybe pushing and pulling, about 3 to 5 seconds each, and do each leg. See how it feels and really improve the mobility along the front of your quads. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying it. Don't forget to like and comment below to let me know what you think, and subscribe so you don't miss any in the future.